Hello again everyone, welcome back to DIY The Art of Wood. I'm Jeremy. Here we are, it's day 2 of the Family Room Remodel project. I have all the baseboard and trim removed, as you can see behind me here. And we're going to move on to the next phase of the project, and that is removing this heavy troweled texture that I mentioned earlier. Pretty simple, I'm just going to sand it off. I have my random orbit sander here with me. And before I get started though, I need to kind of put in place a dust control system. Basically a bunch of plastic sheeting. I'm going to staple it to the ceiling, hang it down, and basically make a big plastic tent. So that should help contain some of the dust. I also have a dust collection system I'm going to be using, which is basically just a shop vac hooked up to the sander itself. That will help control some of that dust as well. So going to get started here in just a minute and follow along as I make a tent. We are getting started here. Ladder. And a big roll of plastic sheeting. So, let's see here. Just kind of roll it out lengthwise, I guess. Oops. Just take it down to the other wall. Yeah, a few more feet will do. Oh yeah, so maybe just a little bit more and that should be plenty. Okay, pair of scissors, and we cut, and we cut. Don't mind the rustling noise. And this plastic sheeting is 10 feet wide, I think, which should give me plenty of coverage on 8-foot ceilings to attach to the ceiling and drop all the way to the floor. Which is kind of the general idea there. Don't have a lot of room to work here, so I'm going to give myself as much room as possible to do this. Staple gun and some staples. All right, we're going to move right along and do our plastic tent. It might get hot in here, I don't know. I can open the window, I guess. Don't need a whole lot of staples. So what I'm going to do is just do this section here, do it, and then take down the, take down the plastic, and then go this way with it, and then, yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go. Then again, I might want to leave the plastic up for spraying the texture. So, I don't know, I'll see when we get there. We'll see what happens. Yeah, and this special. Sure, and leave yourself a way to get out and in. Caught on something. Okay, last couple here. And I think I'll be able to just go out this way. Yeah. Maybe put a couple kind of in this corner so as I'm getting in and out it doesn't rip it or anything. The tent is made. Yeah, this will work. The tent is made, all right. Okay, So slight change of plans here. We decided to go ahead and just tent off the whole area instead of doing one section then the other. Main reason for that is we are going to be spraying texture in here. Figured we could just get it all done at once instead of having to move the plastic sheeting back and forth. I'm inside the tent right now. I'll take you on a little tour, point out a few of the additional things I did to prepare for this, and then we'll get started. So the first thing right there, that's a floor vent. There's another one around the corner. Hope I don't make anybody sick doing this. There's another one around the corner, kind of around that corner there. I closed those vents and taped them off to keep any dust from getting inside them. The electrical outlets and the switches, I just covered those with tape. I know I said earlier when you're painting it's better to, you know, remove those, but we're not painting just yet. I just left those in place to kind of keep them a little bit more protected, covered them with tape. That should keep all the dust out of there. Another thing too, you'll want to, if you have a window or some sort of ventilation, open it so you have some fresh air in here. This plastic stinks too. It kind of almost burning my eyes a little bit. But anyway, this is inside the tent. I'll flip this back around. Anyway, this is inside the tent. Going to get started here in just a few seconds. All right. Okay, so before we begin, just a few more words on safety. We're going to be creating a lot of dust in here and making a lot of noise. So for the dust, you want to wear some sort of a mask or a respirator. For the noise coming from the shop vac and the random orbit center, wear some hearing protection, and definitely protect your eyes. Wear some safety glasses. And wait, hang on just a minute. You know, something seems strangely familiar about being inside a plastic room like this. Feels like I've been inside one of these before. I can't remember when or why. You know what? Maybe it'll come to me later. But for now, let's just keep safety in mind and let's get started. So the random orbit sander wasn't really getting the job done, and I'm through messing around. So say hello to my little friend. Okay, so took a stab at it with a random orbit sander, and that simply just did not have enough power to get through this heavy texture. Kicked it up a notch, grabbed the belt sander with a real coarse grit sandpaper, and that was getting it done, but I decided to change courses here and go a different direction with this project. One of the problems I was running into with using the belt sander is it was still moving very slowly. I was making a huge mess, and in order to get through some of the heavier spots in the texture, I was actually sanding through the texture onto the drywall, and it was going to cause more damage and create more of a mess and create more work for me later. Kicked around a few ideas of what to do next, thought about maybe just re-drywalling this area, but we didn't really like that idea. But then we had the idea. Instead of sanding all this down, retexturing, and painting these two walls here, we're going to take this opportunity and create a feature wall instead using a completely different material. And I know this seems like a lot of wasted time and energy and effort, you know, spending an evening sanding this down only to stop and start over. But you know what, this is kind of my creative process. This is where the art in DIY, the art of wood, comes from. These walls here, this is my blank canvas. And my ideas usually don't come to me until I start to kind of dig into the project. And oftentimes when I run into a little bit of a problem or a little bit of a hurdle I need to overcome, that's where the creativity starts for me. Now we have a few ideas of what we're going to do with that. I'm not going to tell you what our thoughts are just yet, because if that's the direction we go, I think that would be a little bit more of an exciting reveal to just show you rather than tell you right now. So you'll definitely have to stay tuned to see what happens here. So For now, I just need to stop where I'm at, clean up the mess. It is a huge mess in here. There's dust everywhere. There's tools I no longer need laying around, like the sanders, so I can get those out of here. Need to vacuum and clean up and then just move on to the next phase of the project here. So stay tuned, keep watching, and let me know what you think.